It's Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. I'm in this particular Union Jack at the moment. I'm watching several episodes of today's news, which is June 2nd. It was the first day of the Queen of Britain's, they call it pomp. I think they used the word pomp of circumstance. Now, for myself, I see there was some movement somewhere in a uniformed capacity, and here, as children, they taught something called hide and seek, where you hide in safety in somewhere. But then they also, is the coast clear? And I saw a changing of one of the guards over from the U.S. Coast Guard. Yes, the other day. I can't find it now. I've been searching for it, but I'm not sure which of the programs they put it on. It's one of the broadcasts. Tonight I'm watching the Eyewitness News sections along with the channel at noon. I watched a non-familial person dressed in something called a national parks uniform on this side of the ocean. On a federal flagpole, totally disregard Trump's whatever command, and they raised a rainbow flag in some pride. Now, they say it's something called LGBTQ. I've heard that used in a local form where they have movements and parades, and it gets confusing as a tenant in common that has nothing in common and also has no idea how they're misappropriating perhaps noir funds, if that's even a phrase or a thing, with JTWROS, and then like, so I don't want to tick anybody off, but I also don't know what happened to like my person. Like, where did my person go? Somebody over 6 foot to look up to. So then they're putting together this, they named the person Azar, CZAR, which thoroughly ticks me off, but not that anybody cares, because that's my special spelling of I have no idea what it means to these people that are now using it on this, and they're formulating a gun violence task force. And I'm like, now that could be read in like, I don't know what way. Then they put up, so now there's this overlying umbrella theatrically in the war theater. I'm seeing there's a New York State Senate Majority Leader sitting in Albany that I have no access to, and I don't know how she got there. And she's non-familial. I don't know what her heraldry is from, but she's there, and I don't know for how long. Then there's Mayor Adams that now joined this New York crew. Don't know how that got put together. Then I look, the White House press secretary, I'm like, again, U.S., is the coast clear? I'm a little confused because the Northeast does not feel clear. Then it goes into a strange loop, and then hospital pride. And then it goes into Pride Month with this rainbow array. And I'm like, right, all right, so that's that on the gun control debate. Then it goes into something called, then they're repositioning the word turkey. Thank God. They acknowledge that there's some confusion with the bird turkey that we serve at Thanksgiving and this country turkey that has its own Union Jack, very different from ours. They want to now be pronounced turkey. They have a mention on there. And then, I mean, to watch the outcry of this gun violence debate and them appointing this czar, it seems really aggressive. Not passive aggressive. There's words being spoken in a very aggressive stance, a very aggressive manner in public, as in front of City Hall, no less, like a municipal building that I don't even have access to. I don't have any, like, what, I wouldn't, I don't even know if I have family in the building any longer. And then it goes from the turkey confusion, there's something local. And there's also, they go Suffolk County, they go to another non-familial member who is talking about putting body cameras. So now it's a sales pitch. Got to keep the guys safe, but they put this person in commission in front. More technology wizards, I'm assuming is what, I mean, I didn't think that they qualified for wizardry, but they keep pushing and pushing and pushing their people in the forefront. Totally, like, my people have just disappeared. Like, I don't even know if I have a people anymore. And then they say, and then there's this part of, they came out with this new movie. I mean, in the 1960s, Captain Marvel had something to do with the Holocaust. I saw a cover of one of the old comics. But now, here in the local area, they have something called an MS-13 gang. No idea what's associated with them, other than some really scary mugshots. Some field people put those up. Just so I was in the know of what scary lurks around the corner. But now it's almost like they're rewarding these bad behaviors with pushing the guns in and then threatening with gun violence, then having to give a title of a czar out, just so this way we have some kind of unity. And then they put in this Marvel Studios movie pitch of MS Marvel. I'm like, is that gang related to what I got going on in Long Island? Does the Queen know? Because I know the other day I saw it with her Jubilee, and she's doing Pomp and Circumstance. I mean, that she has a very good relationship with North America. There's some things going on in the New England section that perhaps Her Majesty would like to know. It's really frightening to be on this receiving end of all of these visual markers and references and all of these, like, custodial and parenting and JTWROS, like, messages with the TICs who are ticked off about all sorts of things, but they keep taking from the system. They keep making the message really loud, so they get, I don't know, they're billing somebody somehow. They're taking the money, they're building more interior for themselves, and I have no idea what happened to like the indigenous that were in New England. I don't. When I look at the city landscape on the TV, I don't know what tourism and travel did. I don't know if people took payoffs and flew elsewhere and settled elsewhere. I have no idea what they actually did in actuality. But it's frightening when I see just how many officials somehow integrated with government are now no longer familial looking. So now she says there's 3 recent mass shootings.
Shootings in the United States, in Buffalo, Uvalde, and now Tulsa. This as Mayor Adams takes new action to try and prevent gun violence in New York City. And a big celebration kicks off across the pond. We're taking you to London, where the entire United Kingdom and royal fans from all over the world are marking Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. And good afternoon to you on Liz Chat.
And I'm David Navarro. We'll have more on those stories in a moment.
Now, here's the interesting part. This mayor of New York City says that he wants to make sure the people receive the resources that they need. And then it goes into this man that, not in depth, it's just briefly mentioning, the man that he's labeling as czar without agreement from my person, is was under investigation for hiring practices that are not allowed in the state of New York. He was using city funds to hire only his family members. Again, this is like a real problem when it gets to this level.
11-year-old child that was shot and killed.
So much, right? That's right.
So we don't want to throw around stats. We want to make sure we give the resources to the people that need it, that's on the ground.
While the mayor is confident with his choice, he downplayed a 2019 Department of Investigations probe with Mitchell on hiring family members using taxpayer money, a violation of its contract with the city government.
You're talking about DOI? I'm talking about DOA. Our children are dying.
That's right.
Our children are dying. And the lack of urgency of getting the best talent to stop the DOAs. I have to stop the DOAs. That's my focus, the DOAs.
And when asked when New Yorkers can begin judging the progress made by this new task force, well, there was really no clear answer on that. But the mayor says the work needs to start getting done ASAP. He says the summer months are coming, and that's when the city sees a surge in crime.
So that piece was Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 4 p.m. today, June 2nd. And the time on that was 11:03. Then at 13:18, it goes into this Suffolk County person who's in some commission, and now is doing something with body cameras. And that happens at 13:18. All right, so these are now the faces of some part of the theater that's in control of something in my area that I didn't get to vote on, didn't get to vote in. I have no idea what administration it comes with, no idea what executive it comes with, no idea like how they're moving this minutia around the area where they have me with very little movement and no opportunity. I mean, I'm certainly not living It's just existing at the moment.
Accountability.
It's going to be able to tell the true narrative of an incident between the men and women of Suffolk County Police Department and the community that we're here to protect and
He's somebody that has just been appointed and just arrived, as far as I'm concerned. He was not in this position. He's not been in this position for very long. They announced him, and I have it within the catalog of my videography or whatever, as I've been following along, his appointment to whatever it is that he does in his whatever with Suffolk County.
serve.
Officers will begin training on
It just seems like all of these, I mean, the municipal building in Manhattan in New York City is filled up. It seems sanitation departments filled up. I mean, like all of these occupations with long careers are being filled with somebody else's children, somebody else's family that don't look New England. And they're sitting there. They're getting into Teamster positions, union positions. They're going to law school. I mean, they are formally organizing more secure units inside of the state of New York, even all the way from Albany down. And I don't have any idea who they are, how they're getting funded, how the circuit at bread and circus system is working, but I will tell you, coast is not clear. Now here's someone in charge of the White House Corps press secretary. It's like the core informational. I mean, it's like the mother's body, the baby fetus, and the placenta to like uterine wall via an umbilical cord for communication. And this is who they allow at the podium.
did, but I didn't.
We, as a whole of government approach, has been working on this since the recall, which was in February.
That's about baby formula. And that piece was at 42.12. Which then goes into a commercial for A Strange Loop, which is a Broadway theatrical piece. Again, not my familial. And then it goes into Hospital Pride at 43.44. And then the real story of Hospital Pride is at 53.39 with some kind of pride message that they've been given to whatever. This is what A Strange Loop looks like.
A strange loop, and why he says you should check it out.
Plus, a hospital in northern New Jersey is celebrating diversity and inclusion as we kick off Pride Month. And in AccuWeather, with storm tracking, we have a new
Diversity and inclusion. Oh my goodness. This is the channel 7 broadcast at 5 p.m. at 9.27. This is the piece on this new gun violence prevention task force.
To fight the wave of gun violence that's gripping this city with Mayor Adams tonight by forming a new gun violence prevention task force. It's going to be led by Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright and A.T. Mitchell, who is an anti-violence activist and the founder of a group called Man Up in Brooklyn. The mayor says the task force will ensure that every agency in the city is responsible for community safety to some degree. He says it will identify gaps in services and get resources to the neighborhoods that are most impacted by violence.
We are the people who are closest to the problem. Right. So quite naturally, we have the answers to those problems.
There are many rivers that
So one creates a problem, bills some fund for a problem, establishes deeper ties and roots in the problem, and then seats itself at the head of the class to run the problem. And then has the audacity to ask for special favor, like a prime spot in a superhero film like Saga or Epic, under somebody else's very special title and catalog that was supposed to be used for one purpose, but now it seems to have been expanded to include some really serious local problem, but making the local problems seem like they're superheroes, which they're not.
Feed the sea of violence, and it's time to dam every river.
More numbers that are startling. As of yesterday, there have been 605 shootings in New York City this year. NYPD statistics show a slight decrease in the number of shootings so far.
Those shooting numbers go all over the place. They make no sense to me if you actually try to follow it. I'm going to go back to Channel 7 at noon real quick just to grab the woman's name that's up in Albany that I have no idea how that came about. Alright, so there was some cardinal on whatever this was for one of the shootings. And then this is Jennifer Fox. Then it goes into the New York State, what's up in Albany. The capital of New York is the city of, or the town of Albany. I don't even know the word for it, but it's Albany is how we reference it. So that's where the big legislature building is, but I have no idea what goes on in there. There's no communication with any of us. There's no participation. There was no, like, from high school, like, some integration and, like, here's your representatives, here's how your system works, here's a field trip, here, come up and, like, take a look at... None of that.
You a loving message from the departed. Democrats in Albany are trying to pass sweeping gun legislation for New York this year as they...
There's more than one Democrat in Albany. No idea how any of them got there.
As they look to prevent more mass shootings, their reform package not just focused on guns. One bill would bar anyone who is not in law enforcement or security from buying body armor. Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan has more.
It is Gun Violence Awareness Month, and that's why they're having a rally here on the steps of City Hall set to begin in the next half hour or so. It's the same day that state lawmakers are expected to pass a package of gun reform bills.
I think people want to know that we have laws that could really prevent some of this, and people should be using them properly. So I think that would be helpful.
Today marks the end of the legislative session in New York, and legislators aren't expected to go home without passing a package of bills tightening New York's gun laws, closing loopholes, and addressing gaps in the laws that were exposed by recent mass shootings, including changing the age from 18 to 21 to buy a semi-automatic rifle.
But there's no, like, integration into that Albany system that they've got going up there, calling themselves the capital of New York, which is what was taught in the local elementary schools within my time frame. All right, and now going back over to Channel 7 at 5 p.m. at 42.34 is this... avoiding confusion between the state or the country and the bird.
This story might surprise you. Officials in Turkey taking new steps tonight to try to avoid confusion about its name. The country's foreign minister sending a letter to the United Nations formally requesting that his country be referred to as, drum roll please, Turkey, yay. Turkey, yay. Yeah. Where are you going? Turkey, eh? The move is seen as a push to rebrand the country somehow and disassociate its name from the bird and some negative connotations that are apparently associated with it. If you told me you were going to Turkey, Sade, I would not. If you told me you were going to Turkey, I would not think you're going to a turkey to eat it. No, I would say you're going to Turkey, the country. Okay. But some people are confused, so they want to change it.
All right, now on the Channel 7 at 5 at 55.17, so it's 55.17, comes this new Marvel Studios. I won't watch it, but this is just the preview or the commercial for it, that it's, I don't know how they are bringing this one out. And it says it's TV14V. No idea what that means, but it's part of this MS-13 gang. I mean, that's the verse that they used for them here. I've heard the cops refer to it on the front face of the news. No idea what it actually looks like or is constructed as. But it just seems counterintuitive with all of this violence going on that then they give them this superhero, even doorway as some kind of, I mean, it's the same thing with Encanto.
Maybe they're right. I spend too much time in fantasy land. Oh.
What does it feel like?
I always thought I wanted this kind of life. I never imagined any of this.
Get them out.
If you save one life, you save the world.
Cosmic.
Mattress Firm.
And again, that's one of the problems with Disney and where they've gone with their whatever hoopla. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Oh, I have to get the medical pride. Right, around 5339. This is what it looks like.
Happening this fall when a new musical debuts on Broadway. Another one, Almost Famous, the musical, is based on the iconic movie with book and lyrics by Cameron Crowe. He first announced the musical adaptation of the 2000 film back in 2018, and it opened the following year in his hometown of San Diego. Well, now after
Conclusion, Clara Mass Medical Center in Belleville hosted a flag-raising ceremony and car parade this afternoon. Participants invited to deck out their cars in vibrant colors and signs for a caravan out around the hospital. Staff
It says queer, not queen.
for say Clara Mass embraces the LGBTQ community and ensures all patients feel welcome.
We want the community to feel welcomed, to be here, to let them know we're here for them.
This hospital is a safe haven. We turn away no one.
We speak to acceptance of all communities and acceptance of all people.
That's the problem with blood brothers and blood typing and bioengineering and geneticist level and some of this other stuff is these whatevers that are thriving, and they're like these money-making machines that are really hard to disentangle, like the disingenuous that just seem to be clawing in harder and making it really difficult.
The pride flag will fly above the medical center for the rest of the month.
well, coming up, a hero who
It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.